Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Synergy Sessions. I am Anna Caetano and I have my co-host here.
I am Eliane Longhi, and today we have a very special guest, Michael Czar from Safeway Home Inspections. And Michael, please go ahead and give everybody a little bit of your background and why did you become a home inspector, and everything you think that it would be important for our audience to know.
Well, thanks for having me. This is great. A little bit about me, background. Prior to home inspections, I was a carpenter for 25 years. I'm dating myself a little bit, but 25 years. I retired from the Carpenters Union, so I did both for a very long time. I really, really enjoyed being a carpenter and working with my hands, and this just kind of seemed like the next chapter naturally. It just kind of happened. There was never really a plan for it. It just worked out that way. It would help friends or relatives. Hey, Mike, could you look at this house? Or what do you think about this addition? And it just naturally happened. And I'm super grateful. I love it. Absolutely love it. And when I started with home inspections, I just thought it was going to be me doing 1 or 2 a week, just enjoying the work.
Yep.
Now there's 4 of us, full-time, 7 days a week, office staff. And it just really grew and grew and grew.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things about working with you specifically is that you have that background. So it really makes the home inspection very knowledgeable for all our clients.
I appreciate it. I honestly feel my job is to help people buy a house, not to help people not buy a house. And a lot of things, they're manageable, really. Or a lot of things we find most homeowners don't even know they're there. So a lot of people play with emotion, and I try to tell my customers, guys, play with your pocket. If this is all together $1,000 or $1,500, do you really want to lose the deal for $1,500 for an electric panel or for something? So we try to put experience, or our experience, with the home inspection. I'm also really fortunate. My guys are all tradesmen. Who ran window siding roofing company, who remodeled home, who flipped home. So we're really well versed in all of it. And it's just kind of what we do every day, all day, every day. It's awesome.
Yeah, it comes from an educational background.
So that's kind of our slogan.
So with that being said, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen in a home inspection?
We don't have enough time today. Yeah, right?
But I do want to hear some stories.
If I had to pick one. So we're doing an inspection. And it was like a full crowd. You guys know what I mean, like mom and dad and
The whole family, yes.
couple and super cute kids. Like they're like little kids buying a house. 24 years old, and the aunt and the babysitter, and so we're a loud group. It's myself, obviously. I like to talk, and we're here. We're doing.
It's a party. It's a party kind of inspection.
It's literally a party.
Got it.
Here's where we do this, and here's where we do that. And anyway. We're about an hour and a half into the job, and I walk into a room, and there was a guy laying there. I thought he was dead. He was just perfectly flat, laying there, fully dressed, and I'm like,
Excuse me?
Is this guy been here like the whole time? Like we're opening windows, slamming doors, and and I'm like, this is a little creepy. Like,
oh my
and I'm
God.
like, so I got the agent. I'm like, did we know he was? She's like, I'm so sorry. No, the house is supposed to be vacant. And I'm like,
and what is he saying?
Was
by
it a
now?
squatter or did they live in there?
Totally asleep, just laying there flat, like total, like. So we proceeded. I went in that room, windows and receptacles and
And you
closets.
just left him there?
He just kept sleeping.
Did he ever wake up throughout?
He had no idea we were there. I am positive he was totally asleep. That's.
I guess it could have been worse.
Yeah.
I mean, we have walked into showings and walked in on people just in their bedroom, or never walked into anybody doing anything or naked.
Yeah,
but it's
we
just
walk
weird.
into a lot of really weird situations. Most of the time, I find it odd. I ask 4 or 5 times, anybody home?
Yeah.
Is anybody showering? Yeah. Is everybody dressed? Does everybody know? I don't want to scare people.
Yeah.
So we walk into all that stuff.
Got it.
Rob actually.
Love Rob.
Yeah, Rob's great.
Rob's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Rob actually called me. He's like, yeah, not really sure what to do, but there's 2 pigs penned off in a kitchen.
actual pigs,
Pigs.
like the animal,
Like the
Like,
mini
yeah,
pigs, or like
like alive.
like alive in the kitchen, penned off, and he's like, I'm kind of creeped out to go in there. I'm like, yeah, don't go in there. We like, I don't know. And the homeowner was not home, and he's like, Mike, there's so he sent pictures, and like we kind of laugh about it.
That's
Rob runs
funny.
into some really wacky stuff.
Oh my God, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
With that, not so funny, but pretty serious. What is the most expensive heating problem you ever uncovered?
I'm going to say definitely contaminated soil from an oil tank.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It was so this particular one. We found the tank. Very long story short, it was about a year later. I bumped into the agent again. You know, like we always, small big world or big small world, however you say that. And she's like, "Oh, we're finally ready to put that house back on the market." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Oh, remember that house in Rahway?" And I said, "Yeah." With the oil tank. She's like, "Well, that tank leaked, and not only it leaked into the waterway.
Oh,
Oh wow.
So the Rahway, it leaked into the Rahway River, and it was a contaminated site, and it had to monitor the water, and so
Wow.
it just totally stopped the transition. So I think that was probably the biggest cost.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, yeah. Thousands and thousands, over $30,000.
and that's why we always, when we're working with buyers, we always advise them to either not buy the home with an oil tank or make sure that the seller removes it and that there's remediation that happens in the process.
So you say we, I think you mean you guys.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because there's a lot of agents who say, "No, don't worry, you don't need that." They don't. They want to avoid that hurdle. I know you guys well. I know you guys for years now.
Mm-hmm.
You do what's right, but a lot of agents are, "No, we're not. We don't need that." Or
No, that's an absolutely non-negotiable for us or for anybody on our team. A lot of investors, especially, they're like, we're going to buy the house as is. Fine, but you're still doing an oil tank sweep.
Please, let's
No
at
matter
least do
what
the
you do,
environment.
at least you can do is an oil tank sweep.
Yeah, at minimum, we want to make sure we're not buying a super fund, right? Like potential EPA nightmare cleanup.
1,000%.
So that was probably the biggest cost-wise. Yeah.
What would you say is an inspection issue that you find that sounds really scary, but is actually not that big of a deal?
Electric panel.
Oh,
Everybody melts down, guys.
yes.
And
it happens 90% of the time.
All the time.
Come on, guys. Like, I know you guys don't melt, but the industry is like, oh my God, the electric panel's bad. It is bad, and we should address it prior to closing, and it could, God forbid, lead to something more significant. The whole thing, $2,000, $1,000. It's not. But again, I think people play with emotion versus pocket or versus money, and they have to fix this.
Yeah.
Slow down. Let's look at the big picture after the inspection.
It could be less than $1,000, something that could be
literally
breaking the
less than
contract.
$1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the worst DIY repair you've ever seen? Like, because there a lot nowadays. A lot of everybody think that they can go to the.
How much time do we have?
I know, between the YouTube university or now the Chat GBT university, and people are like, I can figure this out. What's the worst kind?
Probably the worst. There's so many. One that stands out because it was just so wrong. Somebody used garden hoses to renovate their home instead of copper pipes or PEX piping.
My!
So
What?
Yeah. So
It
I
was
in the-
cable, anyways.
I was in the basement and I'm like, why are there hoses everywhere? Like, what's like? I was just so taken back. And there were garden hoses going to the bathroom renovation, like instead of using plumbing.
Wow.
That was like one of the ones that really, we see all kinds of
Yeah.
silly things, but like they didn't even use the right material for the right
Yeah.
job.
Got it.
What repairs do you think cost sellers the most money?
Can I build on that a little?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lack of maintenance.
Okay.
So it's effort, it's life. Just a little bit of maintenance goes so far. And a lack of maintenance really does so much damage. So probably two super easy ones, heating and cooling filters.
Okay.
The equipment works so much easier if we have a clean filter. Just $20. Just no filter.
And it's super easy to just
So easy,
take out and put it right back in.
So we try to show everybody during the home inspection, is it? That's a real easy one. And gutters and leaders, where your gutters terminate and if you keep your gutters clean, you're increasing the odds of the basement staying dry. Once the water comes in the basement, it could be multiple layers to get it back to dry, not just the sump pump. Right? We have to, correct the grading and drainage, correct the gutters and leaders, and what damage did it cause. So those are water is a super expensive one. It's scary. Everybody clean your gutters.
Good. And it's actually easy to do it before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, and
right?
there's like such great companies out there that do it. They show up. I don't know if you guys ever saw them. They have helmets on, and they're in and out 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
and
it's easy
$100,
fix.
$200. Like,
I actually need to give credit to my husband because I think we got ours cleaned this year and it was all on him, or he called somebody, but he remembered to call. So yes.
super important, and we see it. 3 out of 4 home inspections, the gutters are a wreck, and the soil and the grading in front of that or underneath that is also a problem. People are wondering why we're getting water into the basement. We're going to get a French drain. We're going to get a sump pump. You have a swimming pool outside your house.
Yeah.
So now you're just paying to pump the pool instead of
Correcting it.
I think that's a real lack of maintenance is such a huge, just a little bit of effort.
I think people just get so busy with life, they don't even think of their home.
Yeah.
We're out of the house so often that we get home, we're just looking to rest, that it just slips people's minds, but it's so important and
Guilty,
it goes
right?
a long way.
What's that, shoemaker, no shoes, or
Something like that.
Yeah. I probably have a gutter or two that needs to be cleaned, right? Yeah.
You're going to go home today, you're going to check your gutters.
I'm going to call my son, have him do it.
There you go.
So with that, since we're like talking to sellers, and let's talk about pre-listing inspections, or do we even want to talk about it?
I hate them.
And let's talk about it because us listing agents is something that very often we like to mention during the listing appointment. So I would love for you to talk to the agents and to the sellers too. What are the pros and cons of a pre-listing inspection?
So we do it a little different, as you guys know. We'll just do a walkthrough or a consultation. Hey guys, here are the top 5, 10 things we see, blaring issues, or hey, take a look, evidence of an oil tank. Maybe we should figure that out before we list the house, or a Federal Pacific electric panel, or the big deal killers, the things that people really get upset over. We'll make sure that none of that's in place, and any other blaring issue, roof defect. But for me to do a pre-listing inspection, complete inspection, it's a decent amount of money, it's a decent amount of time. And now this seller has a document from Safeway Home Inspections that says, here's what's right and here's what's wrong. 2 months later, the house is under contract.
And it's a different inspector that comes
Different inspector who, let's just say, is newer or less experienced. And he's really dotting his I's and crossing his T's, because he's really scared he's going to get sued. This little crack in the drywall is a structural deficiency. Well, now your customer, we know it's not, but your customer is going to end up saying, hey, who's this guy you had? So it could create a lot of animosity or a lot of, so I did one this morning and we just ran through the house, 40 minutes. Hey, this will definitely go in a report. This will definitely go in a report. If my guys or myself were to do this job, this would be in the report. This would be.
So you mentioned oil tank. Can you give us maybe 2 or 3 more things that you typically point out?
Sure.
on a walkthrough, you mean?
Yeah. Type of electric panel. How old's the furnace? Is it venting correctly? Does the roof look insurable? This is a huge one, guys. We're getting calls from people we just did the inspection. Older roof, but it's not leaking. So the report literally says that exactly, word for word. The roof looks older. It's past its useful life. You know what we usually type. You guys read 100 of these. But it's not leaking. Well, now the roof's not insurable. They want me to explain why I didn't explain that to them. Well, I don't know the insurance company's guidelines, right?
Yeah.
So there's another one. So we would look for an oil tank. We would look for the overall condition of the roof. We would stick our head in the attic if it's accessible. Make sure we don't have mold or anything
This
totally.
mold always comes up.
It always does, and people freak out. And, 9 times out of 10, it's not worth freaking out. It's very, very easily fixable.
Okay, so this is a very important lesson. He's basically saying yes to a listing consultation with a home inspector versus a full-on a home inspection pre-sale, which is important. Actually, I like that because I would love for me as a listing agent to know, what may possibly come up. For you sellers, there's, he can give you a list of things that very likely is going to come up, so you can actually,
or should come up.
as it should, right?
Yeah.
So you can prep the house, but we're not doing the full-on home inspections because we just don't know what the next guy is going to say.
The other thing is experience.
Yeah.
You guys know half the issues when you're listing a house, or I'll get a picture, or you know what I mean? You've done this so much, and you hope that whomever's home you're listing, they're honest with you. Guys, windows open,
Very
close, unlock.
important.
It's so important. You say that, but it's like, it's rare. Like, oh, we didn't notice. So I look at the seller's disclosure a lot of times, and I'm like, come on, you don't know anything? Like
Nothing
literally
about the house.
nothing? Like, we know nothing.
Yeah.
We don't know. How long have you lived here? You lived here 20 years. You know, not to our knowledge, not to our knowledge, not to our knowledge, not to our... And, you guys do a good job, but everybody should try to drag a little more out and
The
get it
more
out
we
in
know
the open.
beforehand. Yeah, right? Like
Get it out in the open. Let's get this priced correctly, and let's move on.
And that's why we like to offer these pre-listing inspections to all our sellers typically, because it gets us ahead of the game and kind of gets the transaction to go a little smoother and quicker when we get to that point versus finding out in the middle of a
Yeah, let's
transaction.
not slow down the whole deal.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
awesome.
100%.
One of my favorite questions, new construction versus non-new construction. Is new construction completely safe from any inspection issues?
Oh, God, no. Oh,
it's a brand new home. They just built it.
don't
What
need
do you
an
mean?
inspection. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So I tell my customers, guys, usually the new construction is a really diligent checklist. So again, back about me, carpenter by trade, I've built hundreds of homes. And when you're building a house, it's a giant picture. When's the roof coming? When's this coming? When's that? And the details sometimes slip through the cracks. So new construction, we're hoping all the municipal inspections were done, rough framing, electric, plumbing, insulation, drywall, finish, CO, blah, blah, blah. But like a lot of times in a new construction inspection, we'll find one bedroom, most recently, one bedroom had no heat. The registers were there, but nothing was coming out. And nobody could figure it out. I'm like, guys, it's not that hard to figure out. It's not connected to anything.
Oh,
Wow.
The ductwork somewhere is disconnected. Maybe the guy roofing the house tripped and who knows
kicked it.
what happened, but there's no air coming out of the...
Wow.
So they're like, it's brand new. It has to. I'm like, it's just not connected to its partner.
Okay.
So we find a lot of things like that, like a giant checklist, or doors that don't close or latch properly, or windows that were maybe put in crooked or need a little tune up to be able to open, close, and lock. But yes, 100%, yes, home inspection, new house, 100%. The other thing we do, which unfortunately, I don't know about new construction, but a lot of flippers never do, is run the water. This is easy stuff, guys. Leave the water running. So we have this new bathroom, we have this new kitchen, we have this new laundry area, and it's all new, it's fine, it's all brand new.
Oh my.
Okay. And we turn on a faucet or we run a shower and it's leaking.
Yes, and actually that reminded me. I think I want to say it was Rob years ago, brand new construction. We did that. We turned all the water on the second floor, and we turned into a waterfall into the first floor.
Right.
And now what? Well, we just figure it out that we have a problem on the second floor plumbing.
Right.
But I'm glad we figured it out at that point, right?
Of course.
Is that because otherwise we would never know? And it was the laundry room. Like, so if we hadn't figured out at the inspection time, our buyers would have figured out at the first laundry.
Yep.
And he really truly saved this buyer, because then we were able to fix it and we were able to go back and make sure it was exactly the same thing you're saying. It was just a simple thing that wasn't connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the builder didn't, most likely, I don't know the story, or I don't know the job, but the guy building the house wasn't cheating.
No, it could happen, yeah.
It was just an oversight. That's all it was. Or sometimes, another funny one is like in a finished basement, there's no heat.
Wow.
this was also a recent one that's on my mind. And I'm like, beautiful house. It's a beautiful job, higher end kitchen, higher end bathrooms. And how do we have no heat down? And I was like, oh, we didn't think of that. And I'm like, it's somewhere behind one of these pieces of drywall. The guy sheetrocking never cut.
Oh,
It's back there somewhere, guys.
got it.
We
Yes,
just have to
yes,
look at the blueprint and find it and cut it. No, are you sure? I'm like, well, I'm not sure. I don't have X-ray vision, but it's somewhere in there. Hopefully it is.
Wow.
Wind up is they called me, Mike, thank you so much. We would have been freezing down here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so new construction, yeah.
So you still do it even though it's a brand new home. That's your
Yeah,
recommendation.
we're not checking for our old house issues. We're
Yeah,
checking,
but checking
for our
for-
quality control and make sure things are complete,
I like that.
to their expectations.
All right. I want to talk about two very important things. One, I still feel that's fairly new because when I first started, we did not do sewer line
I knew
inspections.
you were going to say that.
Yeah.
You knew that.
Yeah, I did. I know, yeah.
Because I feel like it became a thing maybe a couple of years ago.
So you're young. I remember when all this became a thing.
Yeah.
So when I started, I just did home inspection
And nothing else.
and radon.
Okay.
So it was just home inspection radon. Then all of a sudden there was this talk of oil tank.
Okay.
All right, so we have to look for an oil tank. To our previous conversation, how important? Okay,
Yeah.
guys, do it. So it was oil,
And now it's sewer.
radon, now sewer.
Yes.
Here's what I can tell you. The technology is newer to the business. It's definitely new. The first equipment we bought, they were like $4,500 each, times 4.
Yeah.
It was a huge investment. Now they're like so cheap. It's ridiculous. They're under $2,000 each, and it's ultra HD.
And that's something you recommend all of our buyers do it. When do you ever recommend not to do it?
So I try not to recommend anything.
Okay. That says a lot about you.
Well, terrible businessman, but I sleep
No.
really well. I go to
Okay.
bed so easy, guys. And the truth is, their attorney and realtor should guide them. I'll tell them the potential why we would or wouldn't do
Okay.
something and make an informed decision. And the truth is, if I say do it, looks like I'm trying to make more money. And if I
Okay.
say don't do it, looks like I have a plane to catch and I want to get it. So I've been
What is it?
accused.
Doomed if you do, doomed if you don't.
Yeah, you know that, right? So I've been accused of both. So here's what I can tell you: my kids, when they're
I was
buying a
about to
house-
say, if your daughter was buying
you
a
know my
house,
line.
this is
Yeah.
his
This is
line.
his line.
If your daughter was buying a house today,
100%.
Michael, would you recommend her to do it?
100%,
And what if it was a brand new home?
110%,
Okay.
100. Okay, I probably shouldn't say the address. So, very, very big home, Chatham,
Okay. Chatham. We can only imagine the size.
brand new,
Mm-hmm.
magnificent, built, unbelievable, ultra high end, brand new, still smelled like paint, brand new, like literally brand new. Nobody ever. Okay, great. Do the inspection. We had our silly issues. The register fell off the wall, or missing a couple switch plates. Silly, beautifully done. Guy's like, I want a sewer line inspection. No problem. Do you know if there was a house here prior? No, there was definitely a house here. Push the camera, maybe 35 feet. Then it connects to the old pipe.
Mm-hmm.
So they built a brand new, beautiful, magnificent home. Magnificent home. But they connected it to an old pipe.
Mm.
Was it a mistake? Was it an oversight? So the waistline was actually 100 years old.
Okay.
Wow.
Wasn't terrible. For 100 years old, it was really actually in good shape.
Okay.
But they were under the impression they were buying a brand new city connection and everything. Was holding some water, was a little low-lying area. It didn't
Okay.
look terrible. But again, so we see problems in brand new. I see nightmares in old.
Especially when there's trees in front of the house and the root trees growing.
Tree root intrusion is huge. And the material, a long time ago, they used smaller sections of pipe. And the sections come apart.
Mm-hmm.
And husband and wife were arguing. This was in West Orange, very old town, West Orange, right? So we have a lot of old. We have all our old house issues in West Orange. Anyway, the pipe detached from itself, and you can literally see the grass growing every 3 feet.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
and the husband's like, I told you. And now they're arguing over whose idea it was to do it. I'm like, guys, let's just calm it down. We're going to take a couple more pictures, put it, in the report. They got a whole new baseline. Oh, that was another expensive one. You said, what was the expensive one?
Yeah.
That was another expensive one.
I've actually had a very similar issue though, but it wasn't with the sewer line. It was with septic and the pipe running, and it actually disconnected. So there was a little bit of an issue there. We got it fixed, but that was a big costly issue that we ran into. Mike, you brought up radon. I'd love to touch base a little bit on what that is, because a lot of people have no idea what radon is. What is radon? Can you touch a little bit on what is radon and what are the levels that they should be at?
Sure.
And just a little oversight on radon.
Yeah, absolutely. So radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States, period. Some of our, let's say my parents' generation, they don't believe in it. It's fine. Don't worry. You're fine. They also say that when you fall off a bike.
You're fine.
I actually believe it's science. It's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States, period. It's an environmental. Can we back that up a little bit? I don't want to say you guys, because not you or your team, but your industry.
Okay.
Makes a huge mistake. No basement, no radon test needed. No basement, no radon test needed. It's so wrong. Everybody watching, it's wrong. Stop.
That's funny, because I've actually heard that before.
Yeah,
oh, you don't need it. There is no basement.
Very
Let's not do
interesting.
radon.
So here's the rules. It's the location of the construction, not the.
Okay.
So if we're in Warren, New Jersey, and we have a slab-on-grade home, odds are there's going to be radon. Just like if we have a home with a basement in Warren, New Jersey, odds are it's the location of the home. If radon were to come through the basement floor,
It's going to
it
come
would come through the first floor. It's the same exact thing. So radon, second leading cause of lung cancer, United States. If you read that, which nobody does, nor I, it's boring information. If you read that document, though, in New Jersey, we look for 4.0 picocuries per liter, unit of measurement for radon. 3.9 is supposedly safe, or 3.9 is supposedly no action is required. 4.0, oh my God, everybody starts freaking out. If you read further down that document, I believe it's 2.0, still could have some negative side effects. I don't understand the science that, you know what I mean? So super simple, New Jersey 4.0.
So pretty simple. If you see anything above 4.0, the buyer's agent can be asking the seller, or the attorney can be asking the other side, hey, radon remediation is going to be needed. And how complicated is that?
So usually, about, in my experience, $1,500, $2,500. It's like that, maybe $3,000.
I've actually never seen anything more than $2,000.
There you go.
And it's not that complicated. It's as simple as putting out a pipe that's kind of ventilating the radon to the outside of the home, so that you're not,
again, you guys know,
you're not inhaling the radon.
Literally sub-slab, beneath the slab, suck the radon out, put it, or not we, but they suck the radon out and introduce it to fresh air where it's diminished immediately rather than getting trapped in your house.
Trapped in the home.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really important question. No basement, no radon needed. Absolutely incorrect.
Okay, that's very good to know. Is there anything that you feel that is important for our audience, whether they are sellers, buyers, or agents dealing with clients, in our agency, that they should absolutely be doing, or, something that they must not forget? I know it's a question. It's a hard question, sorry. But yes, you got it.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I got it.
You got it?
Just be honest, guys. Tell everybody the truth, and ask your attorney what paperwork exists on this particular property. That's huge. So if you're represented correctly, the home was recently sold. Maybe there's a radon mitigation system in place and it's still under warranty. Or maybe there's a tank sweep document stating that this tank was removed and no other, super important, no other tank was found. Oh my God, can we digress?
I was about to
Yes,
say
let's
that.
go
We're going to
back.
have to go back to that.
Guys,
All right, so I just bought a house a year ago, and I know there was no oil tank sweep. Now I'm selling the house again. Should my next buyer do the home inspection? I mean, the oil tank sweep?
So This was years ago. I got accused of trying to run somebody's bill up and get a tank sweep out of it.
Out of the second time. Mhm.
We're there. She's like, Mike, you're not listening to me. I have the NFA here. I said, sorry, audience, no further action letter, meaning a tank was removed and that hole required no further action NFA. I said, I'm really getting tired of you saying I don't understand. I'm trying to explain to you that that letter just says that hole was clean. These people want to check the remaining property to see if there's another tank.
But is that even possible to have more than one? I know.
I don't
Because
know.
that's what a buyer would say. But is that even possible? Why should they have more than one thing?
All right, let's do the scenario. I remember the address. I'm not going to say it. Rahway, New Jersey. That's all we'll say.
Okay.
Rahway, New Jersey. Again, old town.
Yes.
House was built in the early 1900s.
Okay.
So 1905, we put a tank in the driveway.
Okay.
1960, that tank started leaking, but we still needed oil, so we put another tank in the front yard. 1980, they switched to gas. 1990, we started talking about oil tanks. 2000, we started doing the tank sweeps every transaction, right? Or 2000, whatever it was. Somebody found that tank in the front yard.
The first one. Let's just say the first one.
Sure, they found the first one in the front yard, or in the driveway. First one was in the driveway. And they pulled it, and they remediated the soil, and we have a letter from, the previous, no further actions required. So why would they pay? This lady was yelling at me. I said, "Baby, please, it's not nice. It's enough." They asked me to do it. She's like, "But I don't understand." I said, "I know you don't understand. That's the problem. This is the whole issue. You don't understand, but I don't have the ability to make you smarter." Excuse me?
And that's exactly something that you'd say.
Yeah, well, I mean, after the fourth time of explaining it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen where they put the tank? There's a tank, above ground tank in the home, in the basement, but then you still find one underground?
Wait, we found tank on tank.
Wow.
Tank on tank we found. So I did the oil tank sweep. Not only was it 550 gallons, it was a 1,000-gallon tank in the driveway, and it leaked. The wife called me. She's like, I said, guys, you made the informed decision. I did not.
Yeah.
I told you if your attorney has paperwork and they're satisfied with it, proceed. And if they don't, they don't. They ask the question, would you do it? I'm always doing it. I don't pay.
Yeah.
Right? I own the equipment and I own the insurance. It's okay.
Yeah.
But peace of mind, it's really important. So that was the second tank. Anyway, that realtor was nice enough, I have to say. She called, she apologized.
As she should.
She's-
Very, very important lesson over here. Even though you have an NFA letter that says that one oil tank was already removed and remediation was done and it's good to go, it does not mean that this property may not have a second tank. So always, 100% of the time, if you are representing a buyer, do ask them to get an oil tank sweep.
Or see if there's another document stating there's no oil tank
Like an
on this
Oprah.
property. So we pulled this one, and the rest of the property was free and clear. Most attorneys don't trust. They always say, just do it, just do it, just do it.
I would still do it. It's such an inexpensive test for such an expensive result.
Speaking of that, we're raising our prices. No, I'm not.
Okay, you want to do rapid fire?
Sure.
All right.
Boy,
Are you
All right.
ready?
All right, here we
Rapid
go.
fire. Let's go.
Biggest inspection myth.
No radon test, no basement.
Older homes or flipped homes?
What's the question? Do I like them or hate them?
You like them? Do you hate them?
I think new homes are built pretty good usually.
All right. Crawl space or attic? Which scares you more?
Ugh, crawl space.
Wow.
Nobody goes in a crawl space ever. Sometimes people go in the attic.
Deal breaker that you see weekly?
I don't make a big deal over things, guys. You know that. Deal breaker. Federal Pacific panel. People freak out over this.
I know we're in rapid fire, but we do need to talk about this because
Yeah, I'm old.
the
Let's not
only
wrap it
reason
too
why
much.
we're talking about it, I remember, when I first got into this business, that was one of the first things I've learned. If you walk into a house and you see a Federal Pacific electrical panel, that's a big deal. So let's explain a little bit, because people don't know, like younger agents, they have no idea of what that is and why that is. Why
I don't know if
don't
I'm allowed
you?
to say this. Even older agents don't know. You guys, did you hear what you said? Learned.
I
Some
know.
people, I'm like, guys, Federal Pacific Panel.
But because
Well,
that's
it's
something that
important.
people usually don't talk about it,
It's
right? We
important
don't
because
go around saying, be aware of federal,
No.
like
I
so.
actually learned it from a home inspection I did with you, one of the very first home inspections I did. So
But
it's
you learned
important.
it. And
Yes.
you renamed it. It's. I mean, it's a big orange sticker on the panel. It's not like you need years and years of training to find this. It's a big,
It's right there
giant
in your
orange
face.
sticker.
So
Like,
I
guys,
want
check
to
this shit
I want
out.
to clear that
Sorry,
out.
stuff out.
Yeah. So why do people say that's a big problem?
Okay. The brand or the manufacturer knowingly manufactured circuit breakers that did not do their job, which is shut off or move. And they proceeded, they were made in Newark, New Jersey. That's why a lot of our Essex County and Union County and Hudson County homes still have them. And the state actually sued Federal Pacific and basically put them out of business, saying, you produce something knowing it's a fire hazard.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, the older people say, it's been here for 50 years, you're making a big deal. I don't make a big deal of anything. I'm
No,
just
you don't.
explaining to you, my daughter will never sleep here
Mm-hmm.
with that in the house.
Yeah.
Now, our electrical demand or needs are different,
Mm-hmm.
right? 50, 60 years ago, nobody plugged in a laptop, a TV.
Yeah.
So it's real, super simple. Don't take my word, Google it, right?
There you go.
Put it into chat or something. But
That's a very great point.
I think that out of everything we spoke about, this is one of the biggest takeaway, because it's something that not everybody talks about it, not everybody is aware. I actually think at one point I even learned, or somebody told me, that a house is not even insurable with that electrical panel. So that's your answer, right? If you're buying a house and the insurance companies will not insure because of the electrical panel the house has, that can they can definitely go into right back into the attorney and say, hey, this falls into major
Structural, mechanical, and
Exactly.
environmental issues.
so this happened probably 2 weeks ago. Hey, Mike, I just need an oil tank sweep. No problem. Drive. Oh, by the way, guys, try to shovel if we're doing oil tank sweep. But
Yes.
2 feet of snow in the driveway. Like the plow plowed it into the driveway.
Oh, wow.
So I said, anyway, that's not the point of the story. I get into the basement. There's the evidence of the oil tank, the copper line sticking out of the ground. It's literally like you can trip over it. If you follow that around to the wall, there's the oil filter. It says it right there. And the agent's like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, it says it. I mean,
Yeah.
just
It was definitely one here at one point.
it's clearly,
Yeah.
well, what's behind? I said, well, all that snow is behind the wall, right? It's like where we're pointing. Can you just take a look? This is for so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. But they don't want to do a home inspection. So take a look at what? I'm here. Sure. What do you want me to look at? Like, just like the structure. I'm like, well, did you feel the kitchen floor? It was pretty wavy. Federal Pacific panel attached to knob and tube wiring.
Oh,
That's
now you're
another
going to make
biggie.
us talk about knobbing too.
So it's like the perfect fire conditions. And the agent was like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you've never run into this? With me? I know you've run into it with me. How do you not know what I'm...
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to talk. You just put it into Google. Have a Federal Pacific panel with knob and tube wiring attached to it. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, now this poor person buying a house waived everything except environmental.
Oh, my
wow.
God. Okay, so they're definitely going to have to call an electrician before they move into the house.
My daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knob and tube wiring, old-fashioned, very outdated wiring. And the biggest concern is it's covered in cloth versus vinyl, and the cloth deteriorates. And if we were to renovate, not remove it, push something up against it.
Okay.
That's a very important, thing to keep in mind when we're looking at homes. And where I see it the most is if you go down into the basement and you look up and there's no ceiling kind of put there, you can see it. So things to point out.
Here, guys. Most people know. I'm going to send you a picture. You could just put it into
Yeah.
the podcast.
Let's do it.
There was 100 of them. You're talking about the white insulated.
Yeah.
There was 100 of them. I was just like, oh my God. Like,
Well, I think this was amazing. I can't count how many great nuggets you threw at everybody today.
Absolutely.
We thank you so much
you for
for
having me.
sitting with us and doing the session. We're going to put your information at the end of the video, but if you want to go ahead and let people know how they can contact you and what's the best way to do so,
Sure.
please
Give
go
me a
ahead.
call. Mike Czar, Safeway Home Inspections, 908-447-9445, or check out my website, safewayhomeinspections.com.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
guys
being
for
here.
having me.
Everybody, please check out Mike at Safeway. He has literally saved so many deals from major, major issues for all our clients. So we appreciate everything you do for us.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank you.
Follow
Thanks,
us on
everybody.
Instagram, Anna C. Realtor.
Elongi.realtor. Yes, it is. That's correct.
Thank you guys and see you in the next episode.